That was an impressive win. On the second night of a back-to-back, the Warriors blew past the Knicks, outscoring them by 20 in the second half. Steph and Curry led the charge, winning his 10th straight game at the Garden with 28 points, 9 assists, and a plus 23 night. Steph picked the Knicks apart, creating shots for himself and teammates, crushing their morale. So let's break down how Steph turned MSG into his playground. Curry had a slow first half with just 8 points. New York was extremely aggressive with him off ball. Look at this initial pick by Pajensky, and Mikal Bridges is playing the high side of Steph, forcing him to cut, where Josh Hart is waiting to switch. The Knicks would rather force Steph one direction, knowing there would be an automatic defensive coverage. With Pajensky getting the ball on the right wing, Draymond signals to set a down screen on Josh Hart. Steph counters when he sees Hart a little out of position by jab stepping to pretend to use the screen, but instead falls in the back cut. Anunoby is late to rotate off a non-shooter Butler, and Steph gets the and one layup. The Warriors got Steph running Klay Thompson plays. The Knicks are slightly confused on this baseline screen by Buddy. You can tell Bridges thought they were kind of switching, and the second he falls 2 steps behind Curry, he tries to call for Achua for the switch on the Draymond down screen. Achua does not really want to go out there, forcing Bridges with no choice but to chase from behind and jump on this first shot fake. Curry counters by sidestepping in rhythm for a 3-ball. I remember when Mikal Bridges had locked up Steph a couple times a few years ago when he was on the Phoenix Suns. He is a lanky defender that does a pretty good job on him. Buddy and Looney try to set a double screen, but Steph uses his dribbling skills to shake and reject the pick towards a strong right hand. He's got a slight advantage here, but McBride rotates early as the weak side low man, forcing Curry to pick up his dribble. Jalen Brunson now is the 2 weak side Warriors, but credits both Santos and Knox for cutting. Leaving Brunson in the dust as a defender, Santos gets the easy layup. Steph also did a great job getting into the teeth of the defense and not forcing a dumb shot up. His ability to keep his dribble alive while deep in the paint in traffic is elite, and with Bridges on his backside, Josh Hart is worried about this dump off pass to Looney and rotates to help as the weak side low man. The problem is he's rotating off a shooter, so Steph makes a smart play to kick it out to a corner 3 for Buddy Hield. That is a good sight to see. There's only so many on-ball guards that can read the screen defense by New York as well as Steph Curry. When Looney comes for the pick, Steph uses the in-and-out dribble to reject the screen, knowing Looney's defender Achua is on the other side. Now he's a step on both the on-ball and screen defenders, and then is able to decelerate and use the basket as an extra shield to corkscrew through the defense for a reverse layup. On this fast break opportunity, he's also able to see Achua was planning on picking up Draymond in the backcourt, but Josh Hart tries to call for an early switch. Credit Jimmy Butler for sprinting down the floor and getting an advantage, and Curry gives a no-look bounce pass through the defense. Brunson tries to rotate as the low man, but he's too small to prevent Butler from scoring. The second half is where Steph Curry did most of his dirty work. With Golden State down 8 points, Draymond's got the ball up top and tells Moody to set a down screen. Mikal Bridges plays from behind in an effort to chase him over the screen, and the main way to counter this defensive coverage is to jab and directly cut to the rim. This is just incredible chemistry between Draymond and Steph, with his lead pass getting him an uncontested layup. The Warriors were getting good stops, which was the difference in the second half. Off a defensive rebound, Steph smartly dribbles to the middle of the floor, creating space and angles for passes to potentially both sides of the court. He tells Paz to run to the right wing and immediately gets a wide open look and knocks it down. This is fast break 101. Jimmy Butler had another solid all-around game with numbers that do not necessarily scream off the stat sheet. Butler is able to smell a mismatch and attack the baseline, forcing New York to help. With Draymond in the paint, Hart rotates super early as the weak side low man, and Bridges is now responsible for the 2 weak side Warriors. Terrible defensive IQ here though, as Jimmy makes a correct weak side corner pass, but if you're Bridges, you're gonna get fired for rotating off the greatest shooter in the world to try and contest Moses Moody. Anunoby is also a step late to realize that he has to have that next rotation. Great extra pass by Moody for Curry to get a clean look from downtown. I don't have much of a breakdown here, but Guy Santos sets the on-ball screen to get the lanky Bridges off of Steph. Curry now has a much better matchup in a good defender Josh Hart. There's not much you can do here if Curry goes into ISO mode with an impressive display of dribbling skills, and then eventually get to his spot on the right elbow for a step back midi. You did your job as a defense, but this is just great offense. This was when you know it was starting to become night-night time. Dre's got the ball in the post for a Warriors triple split action. The Knicks blow this initial play up with post, but Steph yells at him to throw the ball back to Draymond since he knew the defense was not switching. Split actions are super effective against non-off-ball switching defenses, so Steph runs off the rookie's pick knowing his defender and Chua will be in a drop coverage. Still, this is pretty fucking good defense if you're asking me, and if you're Bridges and Hart, but sometimes Steph is just too locked in and there's nothing you can do but watch a contested fadeaway 3 go in. Now it's Mitchell Robinson's turn to get lost off ball. With Jimmy handling the rock on the right wing, Looney sets a pin down for Steph. Bridges maintains that same defensive coverage by chasing over the pick, but Steph knows the second he comes off, Looney's defender in Mitchell Robinson is a shot blocker and will be in the paint in the drop coverage. Curry takes one glance at the rim to get Robinson out before sliding a nice bounce pass through the defense. No rotation from the weak side low man as Looney dunks with Josh Hart throwing his hands up in frustration. Timeout Knicks. Honestly, I'm surprised he did not hit the night-night here. Bridges just throws the ball back to the Warriors, and sometimes you just gotta have luck on your side. Jimmy Butler always makes the right decision and finds Steph for target practice, and this is the first dagger of the night. The last couple minutes was Steph simply playing around with MSG. He first breaks the full court press by Bridges, and I'm not sure why McBride thought to come out, but he's literally doing nothing in no man's land. Pods ball fakes in midair for an easy 2 points. Golden State also did an amazing job in the second half, coming up with steals and loose balls and letting poor shooters shoot jump shots. These turnovers turned into fast break opportunities that stamped on any breathing room the Knicks had. This is how you put away opponents down the stretch. And then to end the game, Anunoby and Bridges come for a very soft trap. And just what the hell is Brunson doing here as a 6'1" guard playing the corner and lob? Steph is just clowning around with his lob pass, and Moses Moody finishes the layup for the game. There you guys have it, what might be the most impressive victory of the Jimmy Butler era so far against a great Eastern Conference contending team in the mecca of basketball. Steph Curry is now 13-1 since his Davidson days when playing at Madison Square Garden, and last night was no different as he put on another show. After a slow first half, Steph came out with fire in the second, countering his defenders' coverages for wide open looks at the basket and the three-point arc. When the Knicks finally decided to try and get the ball out of his hands, Steph easily found his teammates within the flow of the offense for point-blank looks and easy assists. There's just nothing like watching the greatest showman in the sport pull up to the historical Manhattan Arena and make a solid New York team look like his personal playground, and that's exactly what Steph Curry did. The oohs and ahs were loud and clear as the Warriors pulled off a statement win on the back end of a back-to-back. Now it's on to Brooklyn to keep this momentum going, so if you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.